welcome to the very first episode of Elevating Black Women in Tech. This is a brand new podcast series brought to you by the Women in Tech Forum. I am your host, Miriam Owusu, and I am a brand ambassador for the Women in Tech Forum, and I am a proud Black woman in the tech space. So today, this series is going to be the start. But what this series is about is it's more than just tech. It's about amplifying the brilliance, the journeys and leadership of some incredible Black women in tech and beyond who are shaping the industry every single day. So whether you're new to tech, a seasoned professional, this is a space where we're going to go deep, real, unfiltered conversations, and it's going to be phenomenal. So, our first episode today is called Pioneering Change, the Journeys of Black Women in Tech. And today I'm joined by an incredible guest, Nicole, and I'm so happy and excited to have you on, Nicole. So it'll be great if you could please introduce yourself to the audience, tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are, and a fun fact about yourself.
Thank you so much. Hi, and hi, everyone listening. I feel so privileged to be part of this conversation today. It's something that I have been speaking about and trying to amplify over the years as a Black woman in the technology industry. So, who am I? I'm Nicole Perryman. I've been in the tech industry for over 10 years. I have had the pleasure to work for some incredible companies, namely Salesforce, Adobe, within the consulting remit. So my role is today a consulting manager within the professional services team at Adobe. And I've been doing this role I've been at Adobe for 7 years and I've been in this management role for over 5 years. But roles, teams change time and time again. In that time, I've had a little bubba. So my little boy, Noah. So I have actually recently, I would say, entered back into the work world. I had him in June 2023 and I came back to work in July last year. So it's been a journey. So we can dive into some of those conversations as well if we need to. But yeah, so that's me. And I'm so excited to be part of this conversation. I do so much with the Women in Tech Forum and love you all, Angie. Shout out. So yeah, amazing.
Oh, it's such an honor to have you on, and the fact that you're just so established and doing phenomenal things in your career, and you're a mum. Like, I'm
Too
always,
kind. Too kind. Stop
I'm
it.
always like, I'm yet to be a mother myself, Nicole, but I'm always in admiration when you just see bosses in their field as well as parents. So, just yeah, congratulations. And I know Noah's super proud of his mum.
Oh,
So,
thank you. A lot of makeup's on my face today.
oh.
What a sleepless night. But there we go. We move for sure.
Amazing. So let's warm things up a little bit. So I just want to ask a little question. So if you were to describe your journey in tech in an emoji, which one would it be and why?
So for me, I'm going to use this as the praying hands emoji. I feel so blessed to be part of this industry and for my career to have evolved how it has over the last few years. So for me, I just feel so blessed and so happy to be part of this journey, to be part of the tech industry and to, yeah, absolutely enjoy what I do because I'm surrounded by phenomenal and incredible people. So yeah, tough people as well.
Yeah, we can't miss out the tough people. I love that. I love that a praying emoji. Wow, perfect. So let's start. So in terms
Yeah.
of your journey, what really, if we were to take it all the way back, what really inspired you to pursue a career in tech, and what was your first experience like?
No problem. So if we take it really all the way back, so I went to uni and I studied business studies and marketing. And for me, I knew that I wasn't going to be the stereotypical marketer. So I'm not a creative, even though I work for Adobe. I'm not someone that can come up with big, innovative ideas, etc. So I knew I wasn't going to move into that side of the marketing industry as I was kind of moving through my career at university. So when I came out, I was just looking like everybody else for that first job, get me on that ladder. For some reason, I wanted to work in financial marketing. and within the operations arm. So very much more around marketing operations, because I'm quite a structured person. I like pulling things together. I like connecting dots. So for me, it was all about how can I bring that to life a little bit in that first job. So my first job was in a banking software company called Temenos as a marketing database analyst. So yeah, doing it out there for the coders. So for me, that's where my love began. We had an opportunity to implement big tech software at that time, Salesforce. So that's where, again, my love for software, working in a banking software company, supporting within the marketing arm of that business, and within quite a technical type of role, pulling data, pulling lists, supporting the events managers for their events, and making sure that I, within that role, was just absorbing and learning and being that sponge. As I was able to be part of the implementation of a new CRM system within the business. So for me, that's where my big love for tech really started. And yeah, that was my first job. Marketing database analyst, pulling data. So yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then I guess as my career progressed, it was very much around being part of a world where I really wanted to explore more into the software side. I really loved email execution. So for me, that's how my career evolved over the last 10 years. So moving into another role where I supported the creation and development of emails campaigns for multiple customers at a company called Amia. Then moved over to a WPP company called VML to really understand what it is to work in the marketing agency world. It is crazy. And the customers are tough as well, but customers are. And I think that's where I honed my skill as a consultant. How do you approach customer conversations? What do you need to do? And then I had the opportunity to interview for Salesforce, got that role within an email deployment type of role, so a campaign manager, bringing that all together for a big supermarket company. Shout out to John Lewis and Waitrose. I can say that, so it's fine. Some of my good friends today, so I was part of that. And then I had the opportunity to go and bring what I did at Salesforce across to Adobe and really kind of build out that particular organization that I was working in, and really support kind of that arm at Adobe within the consulting space. So yeah, I've just loved it. So for me, that's really where it really began. Love for tech, love for software, love for customers. It really started from day one as I got my first job outside of university.
Wow. I mean, congratulations on your journey. And I think one thing that I was hearing throughout your journey, Nicole, is that you really had moments of just understanding, okay, what are my transferable skills? What do I enjoy? And really honing in on that. And I think that's so important, particularly as like we may have some young professionals in the audience who may be thinking, okay, well, what do I want to do? But sometimes it's just that looking at what you love, what you enjoy, and then focusing on that. And even with your journey is testament that if you do that, how can it shape your journey? And I mean, even I know with Adobe, you've been there for many years. I think you recently marked, I don't know whether it was the 7th anniversary.
Yeah, it's coming up in June, my 7 years at Adobe. So, and it's great because in that time I'm on to my fifth role, right? So, and it's all about evolution. It's all about the business is changing, evolving. They see that there's new and exciting places that I could be doing my job within the consulting arm of within this company. So yeah, I'm really lucky to be able to kind of expand my horizons and support our customers, support our consultants, manage our consulting teams, really empower our consultants to show up to their customers as their authentic selves. And I think that's something that I've really tried to kind of hone over the last few years as an individual, being on the ground as a consultant, and now as a manager managing consultants. It's for me, it's for sure been a really good journey. Tears, cries, happiness, laughter, all of that, all the ups and downs that you can see with a career. But I think my number one thing is I would like to think I'm someone that's quite hardworking. someone that's authentic, someone that doesn't feel that they need to change who they are to get where they need to be. I really try and bring my true self to my work every day. And I think it comes from my background. So I come from a Jamaican family, a really strong Jamaican family, lots of aunties, lots of uncles, and all in established careers. Especially my mom and my dad, they really have been people that have really shaped who I am today. And I really just wanted to be that person that is showing up every day, hardworking. I want to play that back to my son and just make sure that he goes into a world where he just feels that he can just put his pure passion in to it, whatever that is. That's what. And I think that really has stemmed back from that kind of hard working background that us Jamaicans have had to go through over the years, right? So yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. And my background's actually Ghanaian, even though I was born and raised in the UK. And I mean, it's similar. Like, that work ethic is pretty much ingrained in us from the outset. And I think one thing that my family showed me was that show up as your true authentic self. And I think that's so important, especially as a woman in this space, and especially as a Black woman. Like, don't let anyone or any environment make you think otherwise. And when you do, I mean, look what can be birthed from that. Like, you're an incredible woman in the tech space, and you're your true self. You're not trying to be someone else. And yeah, that's something that we really need to hold on to. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it is something that we need to remember, that we should show up as our true authentic selves, because the industry that we're in is dominated heavily by males. And for us, there's not a lot of people that look like us in positions of leadership. So for me, I would love to get myself to a senior leadership position one day, but continuing to maintain my personality, the bubbliness that I can bring and make people feel inspired to want to be led by me. But I'm still on that journey. I'm still figuring out what that looks like. I'm still trying to navigate this space as a new mum. And yeah, it is very much very much just trying to figure that out, I guess. No one has the answers, but we just, every day we show up, right? And I think that's what we need to do.
That's the main thing. And you're doing amazingly, and you're going to continue doing amazingly, Nicole. So yeah, keep shining. So thank you. And can you share a moment where you realized that you actually belonged in this space?
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, it was when I got my role within Salesforce. For me, that was when my tech career really took off. I was a consultant, working with my customers, loving my customers. And I was like, wow, I really, really enjoy this. I really enjoy spending time with my customers, supporting them, even when we're going through those tough moments, escalations, and really being able to, again, support those conversations and really show up for the customer to look like we are trying, we're doing our best, we are there, and just really helping play that back again also to the teams that we're in the trenches together. And I think I've had the pleasure of working at companies that have a really great culture. So for me, being and surrounding myself with like-minded individuals or people that have diverse perspectives as well has really supported that. And I think that's, to me, was like, yeah, I'm staying here. Let me just stay. Yeah. So that for me was just like, yeah, customers, big tech, great culture. This is my home.
So good to hear. And the reason why I say that is because, like, not all cultures or environments are like that. And I think it's so important, well, as your journey has shown, to be in an environment where you're truly embraced. And yeah, I know so many people at Salesforce, incredible, and an incredible company that don't just talk about things like EDI, you could see it through how they navigate, and just seeing so many people just thrive in their careers in an environment like that. I think people just need to really ensure that they're in environments where they are valued and supported throughout their careers, because when they are, that's where you see a different level of success and a different level of engagement and a different level of happiness and low staff turnover.
Absolutely, and that's where the magic happens. And to be able to then take that to Adobe, and again, I had the pleasure previous to my maternity leave managing and co-leading the Black Employee Network with an incredible lady called Juliet Barker, and she and me and her, it was a tough space to play in, but at the same time, it was so nice to be able to energize, bring that energy and support the Black community at Adobe within our Ben, we call it Ben Network, the Black Employee Network, and for us to be able to play in that space and support our colleagues and have a community for us, and a safe space where we could really be our true authentic selves for that time has been amazing. I didn't, when I came back from maternity leave, I was like, I did have to look at where and what and where I wanted to prioritize my time, especially being a new mum. I'm someone that will put all energy all in. And I was a bit like, okay, let me just kind of balance when I go back. So um, the Ben Network is continuing to do incredible things with new leadership, and I will play in the space of professional development now within our Black Employee Network, and it's really nice because again, that's what I feel passionate about, and I think that's why I love being a manager, empowering people, making people feel good. Also, giving them constructive feedback when they need to hear it, right? And but doing it in a way that doesn't deflate their confidence. It's a way of looking at how do we enhance what we're missing, or what can we do to kind of shape what we're not doing, and how can we do things better, or how can we find new and wonderful wacky ways of doing things that we hadn't done before, and just making sure that we can continue to empower and develop our individuals across our space. So yeah, that's why I quite enjoyed that part. So I thought let me dip my toe in.
Oh, yes, yes, and yes. It's funny because I attended like a networking event a few months ago, and there were various different people in leadership, and they were essentially talking about leading with love and that point around constructive criticism and feedback. And I hadn't really heard about it from that perspective.
Mm,
But they were saying that as leaders or as managers, it's so important to ensure that you give feedback in a way that's not going to bring anyone down.
absolutely.
How can they improve? How could they also see it from that lens? And one of the things that really stuck out to me in that conversation was one of the members of the panel was like, when I'm ever giving feedback to my team, they ask, how would you like to receive this feedback? And I was blown away. I thought, is that a thing a manager or leader asks in that question? But it just really touched on what you were saying about making sure that you're uplifting when you're giving feedback, especially as someone in leadership, rather than bringing them down. So yeah, that's great. Great to hear. So thank you. And just on another point, so what misconceptions about Black women in tech would you like to be really dismantled?
I guess for us, as women in tech, it's very much a case of the stereotypical type of scenarios that you hear all the time. Black women can be aggressive, showing up in spaces where the microaggressions can be quite hard. So for me, it's hard for me to speak completely on this topic because I've been again quite blessed to work in spaces where I've not necessarily felt them at me. Anything could be going on behind me, but I feel like definitely dismantling that we are here. We don't want to be showing up that we are these aggressive individuals. We do have a space. We do understand. We are very intelligent. We want to make sure that we have that space, and we are seen, and we're heard. So let's definitely make sure that when we are having this space, that actually Black women can also get to the top too. I think it's very, but what doesn't help is that you don't see a lot of Black women in senior leadership positions within our technology space. And for me, it's trying to unpick why. I don't really have those answers at that moment, but I think for us, we can obviously create and bring up the new generation of people that are coming through the tech industry from graduates up. But actually, there is still a space of middle management like myself, like others, that really want to push to the top, and how do we dismantle that? What do we need to say? But for me now, we can get there. Let's make sure that we are seen, we are heard. We do and should have a space at that table. So for me, yeah, it's that's how I think I would answer that question.
Ooh, so powerful. So powerful. We do have a seat at that table.
We just need to
And yeah. And I mean, there's so many things to unpack with that, but I think what's really important is that, for me anyway, especially as someone who's I do a lot of like mentoring and um, career coaching for those like younger professionals coming up, and I think that visibility is so key.
yeah,
Like when you join a company, do you see someone like Nicole
yeah,
um, in a management position? And if so, you kind of know, okay, I can get there. But equally, there's a flip side, and I'm sure you could potentially resonate with this, Nicole, where you're in some environments where you may be the only. And not seeing that as a hindrance, but seeing that as a
mm,
way where you can use your position to
mhm.
open up that space, to uplift women and particularly Black women. But yeah, thank you so much for that.
Thank you. No worries. It's something that we're going to continue to have to drive and challenge and push and want to push that, right? So again, I had a kind of a bit of an aha moment that I was like, I don't want to be super high. I'm cool. Get me to senior manager and that's me. I'm done. But actually I thought, why? Why is that? That's the imposter syndrome falling in again, isn't it? It's like actually if I surround myself with people that can empower me, if I'm and make me believe in myself and make sure that I feel like I'm learning skills that can get me where I want to get to over the next 5-10 years, I think maybe I should and could get to a senior leadership position, whether that's at a smaller firm, whether it's sorry Adobe, but whether that's or whether that is somewhere within Adobe, who knows? But we don't have those answers yet. But I think for me as an individual today and speaking to people like me out there, I think let's just be hardworking, seek opportunities, seek feedback, seek that constructive feedback, be open to that, really look at how do we develop that strategic mindset. Don't always feel like you need to get up and go. Don't always have to drive that execution brain always. Actually, we do and can have a bit of thinking time, even if our managers are like, we want it tomorrow. Actually, we actually wanted it last week. But let's really look at how we can kind of navigate that. But yeah, there is space for us. I definitely think so. We just need the opportunities. But we need the
Absolutely.
sponsorship as well, right?
Absolutely. So good. So good. And even with what you said about sponsorship, like, yeah, talk to me more about that, because I think this is an area where, as women, and especially as Black women, we shouldn't overlook, like building a network of people within your professional journey who could really speak life into you during your journey. And even when you're not in the room, they could say, "Oh, have you heard of the phenomenon of Cole? Like she needs
Exactly.
to be in this position." So yeah, do you have any points around that?
Yeah, I think and I think that's the one of the biggest topics that I really like to kind of present myself on as something that plays quite passionately to me is having your board of personal board of directors, right? That's a topic that I speak on in the Women in Tech Forum on multiple occasions. Having that network, having that diverse network of different individuals within that, having people that you can count on, having your mentors, having your coaches, having your peers, having your family, having your friends. They can all come with different perspective to different situations that you need advice on. And I think having a mentor for me is something that I absolutely love. And I've always really advocated for people to seek mentorship. It doesn't necessarily need to be a long relationship, but it could be a few coffee chats here and there. It could be, but seek those inspirational people out that you would love to have those conversations with. I think that for me is what I've done over the years to kind of really look at getting those different kind of perspectives on certain situations where you just cannot sometimes see you're kind of a bit blind to you, like, oh no, what? That's not that. And actually, then you speak to somebody like, okay, I understand, because sometimes you don't want to hear it, right? But that's where you really do need to be open. And then the sponsorship piece, I think that's a little bit harder in terms of who could seek to be your sponsor. But again, it's if you've inspire to be someone, seek these people out, what could you do for specific people as well? It's a two-way relationship, and if you're sharing and showing all your incredible skills to certain people in and outside of the organizations that you work in, then they can then potentially be that voice for you when you're not in the room. So they could be like, actually, I've got this incredible person that could potentially support this initiative that we need to start looking in. It could be a stretch exercise for them. They may not want to do it, but at least your name is being shared. So I think that's what's really important. But step one, take it slowly. For me, it's very much around look inwardly, look at who is around you, look at who you surround yourself with, and then really seek out inspirational people that you would love to have that conversation with. Or if you feel like you've had some feedback within your check-ins or within your one-to-ones with your management, and it's like, actually, no, I really need to understand, how do I make and enhance that? You can't do all of these things on your own. Sometimes just sitting there doing a course doesn't necessarily help you enhance that skill. But being inspired and seeing other people do what you're missing can really help that, because then you can take those techniques and then twist them and do them in your own way.
I mean, I love every single point you mentioned there, like mentorship, the importance of that, sponsorship, and being open to taking on that feedback and
Yeah,
allowing people to show you your blind spots. And I think that's a whole journey in itself. Like,
yeah,
can
yeah,
you take on
yeah.
feedback?
I'm like,
I've
okay.
definitely been there. I mean, like in my career where you get a bad bit of feedback, but constructive, and you're just like, oh my gosh,
I
I'm bad,
know.
I'm horrible.
I'll
It's
be
like,
fine tomorrow. What's going on? Like, how do I get better? I'm like, oh my God. But we also have to, let's be a bit human about this. No one's perfect, right? We have to remember we're not perfect. But unfortunately, as Black ladies and as Black women, we are being honed to be perfect. We've been told every day, well, for me personally, twice as hard, work twice as hard as your peers. You need to show up way more than what your other peer might be doing, just because of our ethnicity. And for me, that's how we have been honed. So there's that natural perfectionism that does set in. And I think sometimes that can hold us back, because actually it's okay to not be able to know every single answer there and then. It's okay to learn. It's also okay to fail fast sometimes. It's sometimes if failure isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you learn from that failure and then apply those learnings to a new situation to really then be able to enhance you, I think is really good. Because you know what that shows? That shows a growth mindset. And I think having a growth mindset is really key as females, as individuals that we want to kind of drive our career forward. And again, bringing it back to being a Black lady, we definitely need to adopt that growth mindset, that message of don't always be perfect, do seek opportunities. Let's go and have other people to level us up and uplift us as well, I would say.
oof, I mean, that is a mic drop moment right there. Like, yeah, so good, so good. Failing fast and just embracing that. And as you said, humanizing it. Like, we're not perfect. And I think the more we take on that the mindset of we're not perfect, the more we
Mm-hmm.
can fail openly
Yeah.
and get on feedback quickly. Because imagine failing hidden. Like
Yeah.
who's going to show you where you need to improve? And I think that's so important. Like moving away from that mindset of perfectionism and moving towards that growth mindset. And that in itself can be life changing. And I'm hoping that will even be a breakthrough for some of the audience here
Yeah.
today. Like it's okay to not be perfect in your career and you can still be successful.
Yeah.
It's just about adopting and changing your mindset there.
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh, perfect. So just looking at the next generation coming in, because we're going to have so many like sisters who are like, oh, I aspire to go into tech. And I know tech, especially the financial technology world, it's a place where a lot of people are now zoning in on. And I've spoken to a lot of career changers, and it's a great thing because tech is the future, right? And we
Mm,
need more women, we need more diversity in the space. Um,
mm.
so what advice would you give to Black women entering the tech industry, Nicole?
So for me, I think again, we're surrounded by tech every day. I think for the generation coming up, it's making sure you understand that industry, what it's about, and then seeking out opportunities where you can. A lot of our companies do graduate programs, internships. I know that for those companies, very much make sure if that is where you want to be submitting your applications, be brave, seek out some conversations with people that already work there. You never know, that person may turn into your mentor. It's okay to have people say, actually no, but 9 times out of 10 they might say, actually, but it'll be good for you to speak to this person. So for me, just be open-minded. Research is key. There's so much stuff out there right now. Just be as fresh and up to date as you can. I think definitely for this generation coming in, because you guys are hungry. You guys are hungry for wanting to be a CEO tomorrow, but also remember, time is a journey, and for sure you're going to learn so much so quickly on that time. So take a step back. Know that if you knockbacks are okay, pick yourself up, look for that next opportunity, and keep going. But definitely keep relevant, keep fresh, and again, seek out your network.
Wow, 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 wow. I hope the audience, I hope you're taking notes because the gems Nicole is dropping. I wish I knew this when I was breaking into tech. Like this is so empowering and insightful, and it's not something to take lightly. We need to see more of us in this space, and these are the gems that will not only support you as you're entering in, but will support you throughout your career. So thank you for that,
Yeah, and maybe
Nicole.
just another point, just to tie that to that. So my journey has, so if I take my Salesforce to Adobe journey, when I applied for my job at Salesforce, I got it. But actually, the boss that hired me at Salesforce was also the boss that hired me at Adobe. So the biggest thing here is your network will follow you for time and time again. And there was an opportunity that he needed me to obviously come in and help shape. And because he'd seen me already do something like that and he had hired me for that at Salesforce, he was like, actually, let me go and see if we can, like, if she's a bit itchy, because like I said, my blood was blue when I was at Salesforce. I was not leaving. Like, who wants to leave these incredible companies? But actually, look, I've been at Adobe for 7 years now. Incredible company. The grass can be greener, actually, sometimes. Yeah.
Wow.
So just remember
And
who's watching. Again, some people that you don't know are watching.
absolutely. And that's so powerful. So powerful. And it really circles back to one of the points that you mentioned earlier about making sure that you show up with excellence. Like,
Absolutely.
because you never know who's watching, and it feeds back into that whole sponsorship piece. And not taken for granted the spaces that we're in. Like, it's not to say that we always have to be perfect, because as
No.
we've already discussed, you don't have to be, but just showing up in the best way you can, because to what Nicole has said, like your network will follow you and what you
Absolutely.
want them to say.
Definitely. And that I think is super key. And I think, as we know, that's what we've been honed to do over the years: show up, be excellent, be better. But like I said, taking all those techniques, not needing to be perfection and a perfectionist, but being able to just show up strong in your meetings, have a point, don't feel like you need to speak for speaking's sake, listen, drive some points forward, I think is really clear. And I think that is where what we've learned and had ingrained in us can really shine through. I
Wow.
also need to sometimes take this advice.
Where, I mean, as you said, Nicole, it's the growth mindset. Like,
Right? Yeah.
you never want to get to a point in your career where you're like, oh, I know it all. Like, this
Never.
conversation is just as valuable for
I
us
know. I
as
know.
it is for the audience, and that's good. That this is the growth mindset in action right there. So good. And honestly, Nicole, like we could speak all day. Like the gems, the richness of your points have just been so powerful. And I know it's going to resonate with so many people in the audience. And yeah, just thank you for being so open because yeah, not everyone is so open. So we really appreciate it. And honestly, to the audience, like that marks the end of our first episode. It's been incredible. And we're so blessed to have Nicole to kick things off. And this is going to be a great series, so an impactful one. And as you can see from this conversation today, it's very much about being real, honest, and unfiltered. Like we're not trying to sugarcoat anything here. It's about really empowering us with the knowledge and the gems. And one thing that I want to say is if this resonates with you, there's something that Nicole said that was like, oof, please share, quote Nicole, tag the Women in Tech Forum. Let's get this podcast series out there. It's not a one-off thing. It's going to be, let's circulate it to the world. And just, Nicole, thank you, thank you, thank you. And where can the audience find you? Because I know they're going to be like, oh, how can I connect with Nicole? Let us know.
No worries. So obviously for me, find me on LinkedIn, I think is one of those. I'm not the biggest, I'm not an influencer on social media or anything like that. It's just full of my son. So but for me, find me on LinkedIn. You can literally ping me, DM me, whatever you need to do. I'm happy to have conversations and share more insight. I just love these topics. I just love, again, empowering us as females, and not just Black females, right? Just us female, the female industry. For us, we need to come through. There needs to be more of us in technology and in these leadership positions and positions in general, right? So yeah, find me, tap me up. I'm here to have a conversation with you all to inspire, help. And this is me, Nicole.
That's an opportunity. So connect with the incredible Nicole. Yeah, LinkedIn, that's the place to be. And if you're not on LinkedIn, we need to talk. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure. And just for the team at Women in Tech Forum, we're blessed to have you in the community, Nicole. Like you are just incredible in all you do. And just thank you and just keep shining. And just to the audience, stay tuned because the next episode is going to be incredible. I'm going to give you a little teaser. I'm not going to go too deep, but we're going to be talking about all things invisible load and how we could really elevate in this space. So until next time, stay bold, stay brilliant, and remember, you're not just building a career, you're building a legacy. So thank you so much, Nicole.